A very good evening to one and all. I'm Faizan Qureshi from third year IT department. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to welcome those of you that have been with us for a long time now, as well as those who are joining today. We have another interesting session for you as a part of WeReach, which is a VESED alumni engagement initiative that aims at reaching out to alumni and enables the sharing of their knowledge and experience with us VESEDians. To begin, I would now invite Dr. Manoj Sabnis, Dean of Student Affairs, to address and welcome the viewers.
Good evening to all of you. I hope all of you are fine in this current situation of COVID. VESET has launched WeReach, which has given me an opportunity to interact with all of you. WeReach is a platform by which our alumni will be able to interact with you with their successful stories. So my dear students, take as much as possible from all these talks, and when you go out in the world, be successful, come back to us with your successful stories, and via WeReach, we will be going back to our VESET students. Thank you. Over to today's MOC, Faizan.
Thank you, Manoj sir. We live in times that celebrate entrepreneurship. Anyone who starts or runs a business is referred to as an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs are generally assumed to be risk-friendly, ambitious, innovative, and job creators. Like in life, it's not necessary that the risk the entrepreneur takes might turn out to be a successful step, but it can also fail. But as Tim Hartford rightly said, success comes through rapidly fixing our mistakes rather than getting things right the first time. So if you can shift your perspective and look at failure not as something to be ashamed of, but something valuable, you can begin to understand that it's through failure that we truly learn to succeed. So, to know more about entrepreneurship, we have with us Mr. Mayank Kothari from the 2010 batch of IT department. Mr. Mayank Kothari is the CEO and founder of Atto Infotech LLP. He leverages his skills and deep technology experience to build scalable tech platforms, apps, ERP, and CRM systems. He has experience in full stack technologies and also in building custom mobile application solutions. Mayank has spearheaded a startup, Best Deal Finance System, which acts as an aggregator and helps customers in retail and SME loan disbursement. Known for his analytical skills and hands-on coding, Mayank has also helped many startups grow and has been a tech support for them in various verticals like finance, FMCG, health, sports, travel, etc. Mayank also has a work experience of more than 3 years in Accenture and has dealt with overseas clients in handling their pension system and designing their disbursement system model. So I would like to invite Mr. Mayank Kothari to enlighten us.
Thanks, Faizan, for this lovely introduction. Thanks a lot. Good evening, folks. Warm welcome to you all in this WeReach initiative, which has been taken by the VESET team. I'd like to briefly introduce myself. I am Mayank Kothari, pass out of 2010 from IT branch, VESET. I'm a complete VESET student. So I did my diploma in Vivekanand and then I did my engineering from Vivekanand. So a complete VESET guy, you can call it. I've seen everything from the time it has started and on. So I'll take this opportunity to just share my experience with you guys. First of all, I would like to thank the entire VESET team for arranging this WeReach. Trust me, it is a very good initiative. It's a very good initiative in terms of you are bringing, we have a strong alumni team. We have a very strong alumni team. And they are from all different from verticals. They cover most of the things. So bringing them on, they are sharing their experience with you guys. And with this young brigade, which is very dynamic. I had the opportunity to visit in the last 2-3 years for a couple of occasions. especially the hackathon. I mean, when Vivekanand organized it it was, I think, across India. There was participants from all over India, some top 20 or top 60 teams or something. So the team which our college representative, uh, trust me, they had very good knowledge. So yes, this is another good initiative by the college to extract information from the alumni and pass it on to the young entrepreneurs or to the young students who can turn out to be an entrepreneur in near future. I would also like to congratulate the coordinating team also. So they are getting a good opportunity, a good exposure to handle this. During our time, we didn't have anything like this, but this is a very good opportunity. Trust me, organizing it, coordinating it, doing a dry run, asking the speakers, interacting with the speakers and everything, you are getting a brilliant opportunity. So make use of it. Uh, so when I got call from Submiss sir, I was just thinking, what I mean, I guess I was in for it. I should share my experience, my journey as an entrepreneur, from where it started and all. But I was thinking, what should I cover in this? After thinking a lot, I felt that I should just speak my heart out, share my core experience which I have. There's nothing much in the PPT and everything, but I would like to just give you a first-hand information which I have, which I've gone through in these years, and just to pass on to my fellow students who can use and basically learn and add up from this experience which I had. So more importantly, you have to learn and add up from the things, the situation which you are going through. There may be good times, there may be tough time. I mean, I'm sure none of us would have thought that we would have faced such a situation, a pandemic, where we have to stay back home, where everything is online. I mean, no one would have thought. But then there are too many opportunities in this also. There are too many opportunities, trust me. You have to keep your mind positive and try to explore and grab the opportunities which are coming your way. Because okay, you are at home, you could, and just give an example, you could learn a very good technology, you could just build up a small MVP. Been an engineering students like IT third year, fourth year would definitely be waiting for their joinings and everything, but you could still build a, you could just build your idea or whatever you have and explore this free time that you had. I'll call it a free time because your daily schedule has completely changed from the last 3.5, 4 months now. So explore this out and try something new, and then you can see what is turning out, how it is going out. Uh, in this session, I will be basically covering my journey and I mean, telling more about how the entrepreneurship is, what I have gone through it, risk analysis beyond service industries, what risk you should take, and again, that are my views. But again, I will be explaining you risk and everything which you can take, and you have to take a risk if you have to move ahead. That is what I feel in my life. That if you don't come out of your comfort zone, then it's like a steady life. You would be just going through your normal routine and everything, but you would have to come out of your comfort zone, take some risk, analyze it. I'm not saying take any risk when you know, no, you have to analyze it and then take it ahead. So I'll be sharing more about my entrepreneurship. To start with, I think my entrepreneurship journey began, uh, I would say, when I was in college, because I used to do a lot of freelancing. Being an IT student, I used to love coding. So I used to do freelancing when I was in college itself. Uh, then it was more important to get the experience before starting something. So I have a startup in the name of Atto Infotech. So yeah, I have a startup in the name of Atto Infotech, which does various web development, e-commerce. We are the tech support for the startups we build. We partner with them, we build for them, we do innovations, we do support, we be the tech bone. We move you online. That's what we do. So my journey started, I would say, in college when I was doing freelancing, and more importantly, I've learned a lot from college. My college experience has helped me a lot, and I give a lot of credit to college, my faculty members, my teachers whom I am still in contact with, who help me, who support me. I'll just share a small incident. I mean, during our time, it was Accenture and everything were a major companies who used to recruit for us. So I was successfully selected in Accenture. I think there were about 103 or 104 students selected in Accenture during that time. And out of 104, most of them got Mumbai, some of them got Bangalore, some of got Hyderabad. But I was still the single person and a lone person to get Chennai. And I feel that that's a blessing in disguise. That's where I felt that I could do something different. I could do something more. And new city, uh, very good city, lovely food, but language problem was there during that time. Not now. I've recently visited, but yes, but it helped me a lot. My teachers helped me a lot to motivate me, to help me understand. And then the experience which I had when I joined Accenture in Chennai, I was there alone. I mean, you imagine your college life, friends, everything. You are staying with them for. So I've been from Vivekananda. I had my diploma friends. I was there for 6 years, and Vivekananda from 2004 to 10. And then all of a sudden you are into your new world, your corporate, your corporate world, you call it, where the experience is altogether different, not from the college time, not like हाँ ठीक है कर देंगे हो जाएगा. There were deadlines, there were trainings, there were tests to be given. We are used to assignments and everything, but yeah, this is something where deadlines were more important. You know what, you get the responsibility. You know you have to deliver. There is something, there is everything is connected, the pipeline and everything. And the experience which I got in Accenture, thanks to all my managers and everyone there, they helped me a lot. The technology which I learned, and I always had in my mind that I should start my own. I should have my own IT company where I'm more solving problems, helping people, solving problems, bringing the IT thing into their business and helping. So basically, we understand their business. We suggest them what an IT can help them in their business. We we tell them that we we do the analysis, we do the risk thing, we make them understand that how it can be helpful when we bring this thing into the thing. What is something which can benefit them? What is something which will not benefit them, or they are going on the wrong way? So that's what we do. We try to provide them the tech backend, the tech backbone for them, so that they can freely do the business. And what I feel always is you should do good in what you are, right? So if you're good in doing your business and everything, you concentrate more on that and leave the backend part or the tech part to us, where we feel we'll expertise and bring our knowledge and into your organization and help you through it. So again, being an entrepreneur, I'm not saying that okay, I was my so uh, my interest was IT, so I always choose IT as my profession after my engineering. Also, my there are a very good friend of mine who is a successful entrepreneur and who has done something non-IT. He is a very good entrepreneur right now, and so it's more important to understand what you like to do it. Yes, you have done engineering, but your interest or your skills would be to do something different. Explore that, take that risk, explore it, and see if that can help you. So if you can try that out, you can understand, you can take the risk, you can again run an MVP and see if it is how you're getting the response and everything, and then think over it. But yes, you can do that. It's the right time to do it. And entrepreneur, I mean, the time when it was way back, if I call it 20 years, 30 years back, there were a lot of struggles. But now you have good support, everything, where you can actually get your ideas onboarded and get decent amount of success in that. So coming back to that, so you have to understand, and I mean, you have to feel what you would like to do it, and then explore that opportunity. It is important that you choose where you would be more happier to do it, and rather than doing what you're not happy at. I mean, I knew it that yes, job and everything will help me to do it, but I would like to be on my own and help others and help my team members to build something and bring that knowledge base onto it and then explore that out. So that is what I was more thinking on it. So it is as I was saying, that it is important to analyze what I feel like. Yeah, I might be good at something else. I 2 days before, I think, or 3 days before, there was one of the sessions where 2018 or 17 pass out, and he's a very good travel agent. Yesterday's session where Nikunj Gala explained about finances and everything, he's also good entrepreneur. So you have to understand where you're needed. He did an MBA after engineering. So you have to analyze and understand where your interest level is and then choose that path and then give your best shot at it. I mean, there would be hurdles. There would be definitely. And you have to pass them. You have to understand and then take the next step. You will not always be successful and no one can be. There will be failures. You have to understand from the failure that you have to analyze what I have done wrong. So I had many failures in my life. We are into services mainly, so we cater to many MNCs and many clients, where we are maybe the third or the fourth team who is actually coding and doing it, being a core IT company, but we understand what we do. So there have been failures. I mean, I tried to move into product where I launched a product way back in 2015 or 16, but I made a couple of mistakes where that's the reason my product didn't get up. It was not successful. It was not successful. It was badly hit. Uh, then I had to analyze, and I analyzed what mistakes I had. So I didn't. I would say I was not good at market survey. I would have to. I should have survey a lot before just building upon it, or just before launching it up, or understanding the problem which I was trying to solve. It has multiple problems, so I had to analyze and pick the best path of it where I felt I fail in that. I couldn't analyze that, and that's the reason that product didn't pick it up. But then I understand my mistake. I analyze more, and then afterwards I have launched another product, which is going good, which is actually helping small businesses and business owners to take their stuff online. So an example is I've just um, we have a product which is helping small restaurants, caterings, eateries, tea stalls, sandwiches stalls, fast food stalls, and everything to manage their billing, which is mainly done on on paper, or maybe it is done on a cash register or something, which is an old machine and everything. So you have to understand the problem and you have to see the market trend. So I realized that Android is picking up very well in India. So we will build something on Android which will help people in managing their accounts on their phone, which is helping them a lot. So the product which we built, we understood the problem that was their billing and everything, their management. They are imagine if it's a paper billing system and everything, and I mean I am doing that billing and everything, and I have to go out, and then my manager at my restaurant, small eatery, does it, or the person does it, and there might be something which I feel, oh, it is not done correctly or something, and I just bring in a small application for them where actually they use their own phone, their restaurant phone, where they just do their billing on the phone. So everything is in sync, everything is in cloud, everything on a click they can understand. Oh yeah, there is rush at my eatery, or oh today the billing was not so great. Oh, this item is running very well. Oh, this is the period in which my this item or this product goes good. So I have to plan accordingly. I have to plan accordingly in terms of my stock, what I should keep. I have to plan accordingly in terms of my staff, in terms of my planning and everything, what I should do. So it's more important again to understand where the problem was, who the target people are, and how I can solve their problem simply. I mean, if you uh, and operating an Android phone for them would be very easy rather than just installing a machine or a and laptop and telling them to do the billing on that. They might not be used to that keyboard, which we are, but yeah, they are very much used to mobile and Android phone. There, where they have to just select and just enter the price and just on the 3 click the billing is done. The bill is straight in the hand of customer or on their mobile phone. So you have to understand where the problem is. You have to pick up the current trends, right? You know that Android was running good, so you pick it up and then you build over it. So that's the way. I mean, you might have lot of product idea or an idea which is there in your mind. So it's important thing to understand the current scenario, the current problem, the user who are there, how well equipped they are to the product, to the actually to the technology which you're going to bring in. Be anything, be I'm not saying of the app also, or be any robotics or anything which you're bringing in. So how user friendly you're going to make it, and most importantly, the target audience which you're targeting. What is their strength and their weakness? It is important to analyze that. It is important to analyze that. I know maybe I'm targeting smaller and inner cities. So I say not tier two, tier three cities also. So I know the problem statement is. I know the connectivity is right now. It is good, but yes, I know that connectivity might not be so great. They might not be having internet always, but that should not stop them from billing. I mean, just imagine if you come and you ask for a sandwich and I say, oh, sorry, my internet is not working, I can't bill it. No, you can bill it, you can do it, you can give it to him, right? And then whenever there's an internet, you sync it up. So you have to understand this. I'm just giving an example. So it's important to understand those four parameters and then take up the next step and then go onto the drawing board. Uh, Again, go onto the drawing board, put more effort on your first stage, that is the documentation, the diagrams, and actually the planning. If the planning and documentation and survey is very good, trust me, the execution will be very nice. Uh, I'll move on to my what I was trying to cover in this session was uh, as I speak, I was trying to cover this differences between the services and products, understanding what failure is, what is unique. Okay, so another thing which I was explaining during my conversation earlier was when you take risk, you learn that there will be times when you succeed, but there will be times when you fail, and both are equally important. That's what I was trying to explain from my experience. I mean, my first product failure was very important for me for my launch of my second product, which helped me understand that, oh, this is the problem which I was facing through. This is what I had not accounted for in my first launch, and this is what I have to do. Okay. Again, I'll give you a very classic and a very live example. Our product is more on restaurant POS and billing system. So Uber Eats, Swiggy, and Zomato were running a lot during that time. And my product was doing good. It was having the offline billing, the customer walk-in billing. My next step was to integrate this aggregators into our application so that uh, whenever an order comes in, I could see it on my system. So we were integrating. It's a very good story, which it just came back in my mind. We were integrating Uber Eats and for that instance Swiggy, because that two were doing very good. And we were almost done with our Uber Eats integration. And suddenly in the night we get an email that Uber Eats from next day onwards. I mean next day onwards, it's not gonna work. It has been merged, and it has been merged with a giant. You would have to do that. So again, this is a part and parcel which you hurdles which will come in. So after all our initiative which we did, we had to just redo it. I mean, because the APIs and everything were different, we had to redo it, and we had to redo it for. So at the times, hurdles will come. You would have to pass them. You have to analyze them, and then you have to move forward. Entrepreneurship journey is step by step. I mean, if you think that, oh, so an example for me was I had a very good job 3 years into Accenture, promoted twice in 3 years. I was doing very well. I could have easily enjoyed it. And I knew that once I quit my entrepreneurship journey, I quit my Accenture job, I will be at with basic, because I would have to go into the markets, get my clientele, get work for myself and my team members which I have, and then go it. I mean, If I think that, oh, I would get everything which I was there in the where I was at job at Accenture, no, it will not. It has to be a stepping stone. You have to go step by step, and then you would go to the top. And I mean, to the top, there is no limit. But yes, you would have to go step by step and do it. So people do ask me when I had come to Vegan for I think for degree distribution when I had came. So they did ask. One of the students did came up and asked me, "How do you feel that the job at Accenture was good or the life at an entrepreneurship?" I said, "Yeah, I would have been at more comfort when I was in Accenture. I would have. I mean, the responsibility was there, but yeah, I know it was for me. I was working for a dedicated client. But for an entrepreneur, your mind keeps running. You have to think, you have to plan not only for yourself but for your organization, and then take it forward from there. I mean, you you entrepreneurship is totally different. You would have to actually plan it and everything. So yes, it would have been more comfort there, but I'm enjoying this. And when I'm enjoying this, I'm putting in my whole heart, my effort into it. And I knew that when you are happy at something doing, I mean, you do it very well. You put your all energy into it, and you would be very happy with it, and you would be enjoying this part. Uh, So I'll just share a video with you. I'll just play it in my presentation. I just want you to understand that it's not important to have. I mean, you all have different qualities, right? Everyone has a different quality and have unique qualities. But it's more important to uh, understand what is your strength and then move ahead with it. So I'll just play one small video for you guys. I'll just pause my screen to put that positive energy into yourself, that it's important to bring the lion in you. The qualities which you saw, that what it is, it's bold, courageous, and everything. It is important to bring that. And most importantly, the best part is, uh, you have to grab the opportunities. Uh, what to take from this video? I mean, I have a belief that every opportunity is worth giving a try and never let it slip from your hand. If you have an opportunity, if you have any idea, or if you have any opportunity, not the idea, but any opportunity which is coming in your career path, analyze it. And if you feel that yes, it's worth trying, if you feel it, then you should go for it. I mean, don't let that opportunity slip from your hand. It is not necessary that you will get that opportunity again. So analyze it, and if you feel that yes, this opportunity is good enough and I should grab it, yes. Lion does the same thing. I mean, he never let it go. His prey or anything. He is very fast. He's courageous. He will fight it out. I mean, we he will not see who the opponent is. He is very courageous and bold to do it. Analyze the risk and give it a try. You need to be courageous. You need to understand that you will fail or succeed. Nothing more gonna happen. You have to understand that. The second part of my conversation today is again more, which I will taking from here on, is to understand that failure where people fear a lot. No, you would have to take that risk. You have to understand what and go for it. I will just give you. I mean, I'm not a speaker enough, but I'll just tell you what overcoming failure is. I have seen failure. I have failed multiple times, but yes, I've never been let down. I've never felt, oh yeah, shit, abhi kya? No, failure has come and gone, but I've learned from it and I've bounced back to take the next step ahead of it. The first and most important thing for you guys is uh, don't make it personal. And if you understand that statement, don't make it personal. Separate the failure from your identity. Just because you haven't found a success way of doing something yet doesn't mean you are a failure. These are completely separate thoughts. Please understand. Failing in an idea will not make you a failure. You can't say that, oh, I'm a failure. I have seen failure. I have failed in an idea, but myself is not a failure. We always say that most of the time that, oh, I'm a failure. No, these are completely separate thought. And many of us blur this line between, but yes, your idea might fail, your concept might fail, you might fail in something, but you are not a failure. You have to pick it up from there. I mean, just change that mentality. Uh, Pick it up from, just change that mentality. You are not a failure. Your idea or your concept or something which you are trying has failed, and not a yourself are not a failure. Second most important thing is take the stock of it. Okay, my idea failed. Why? How did it fail? And when did it fail? Learn from it. Okay, it failed. I have to analyze and learn. This is my mistake which I have done. This I have to correct in my next step, and then adapt. Adapt is very important. I mean, see the things around you, adapt yourself, and then do it. So look at the failure analytic indeed, curiously, suspending the feeling of anger, frustration, blame, or regret. Uh, you might get angry, yes, it's human nature, but keep that anger aside. Think from a cool head, analyze it, and think what was wrong. Understand what I have done mistakes. Understand what could have been a different strategy, and I could have avoided this thing which has happened. Try that strategy, adapt to it, then relaunch. I mean, reload yourself. Never regret it, never have frustration. Why did you fail? What might have produced a better outcome? So why did you fail? What might have produced that's what I'm saying. What might have produced a better outcome? If I would have launched with a different strategy. For example, a product, right? I have a product and it was launched. I'm again speaking more from that IT background. If I launch a product and its pricing was too high, and the customers whom I was targeting were SMEs, or I would call them small industries, not SMEs, medium also, but a very small and a local uh, uh, vendors and everyone. So my product was good, but my pricing was high. So that can be a cause of a failure. Yes, it can be. So you have to understand and analyze it that yes, if would have keep my pricing at a competitive pricing, then the result might have been different. Uh, Second thing is, like I was giving an example, was the failure completely beyond your control? For me, when I explained you the case study of Uber Eats, which I was trying to integrate into my, yes, it was, for me it was out of my control. I was not aware. We as a company were not aware that what we are doing into, and for me it was, yes, it was out of my control that I could have avoided that. But then for me, it's a failure of my efforts. I relaunch, I reload myself. I take the companies with whom they emerge, take their things into my system, and I rebuild it. So sometimes it might be beyond your control, but you have to again restart yourself. After gathering all these facts and steps, step back, ask yourself, what did I learn from this? Think about how will you apply this new found information which you have taken from your analysis, and then just insight, and then start going forward. I mean, there's no point in going back. Analyze from your failure, take the things, understand what the next steps I could have done, and then start going forward. Most important thing, stop dwelling on it. Seriously, stop dwelling on it. Obsessing over your failure will not change the outcome. I mean, thinking, oh, no, it will not change the outcome. The outcome, it has already happened. Forget it. It has already happened. Stop dwelling on it. In fact, it will only intensify the outcome, trapping you in an emotional loop that disables your moving on. You cannot change the past, but you can shape your future. It's very important. You cannot change your past, but you can shape your future. If you keep thinking about, oh, it happened, analyze it. It's not bad to analyze it, but stop cribbing about it. You have to take the next step so that you can shape your future in a brighter way. The faster you take a positive step forward, the quicker you can leave this deliberating, monopolizing things behind. Analyze it, take the next step quickly. So the first mover advantage, I mean, all of you guys will be aware. It's very important. You know something, it's always there. Across any verticals, it's always there. Whoever takes the first mover advantage, it is always there. So if your idea is good, so I'm working on a startup of this, and I'm helping them as a tech support. I mean, they are a group of engineers who are building something. I'm just helping them, guiding them into the application which they are doing. They have the first mover advantage as per my study. There's no such app which is there in the vertical which they are targeting the target audience. So they have already failed once with their launch, where they did an MVP with a set of users. It didn't work out, but it was important. They understood what the problem was, and they have started again quickly thinking forward, rectifying their mistakes, and then relaunching it, and which they will be doing shortly, maybe next 15 days or 20 days. And so, yeah, that first mover advantage, they don't want to leave it. That's always there. I mean, across verticals, it would be there, I feel so. Release the need for approval of others. Often our fear of failure is rooted in our fear of being judged and losing others' respect and esteem. This is there often. I mean, you would always feel that I would be judged, and I would lose the respect if I fail into it. We easily get influenced by it and by what people say about us. So it's your failure, or it's your idea which has failed or something. But लोग क्या कहेंगे, that is what it is, right? We think a lot of it. We should stop thinking about it. I mean, they would say, right? But it's whom you are the person who would think it, and forget them about what they are saying. Take the advices, take the help from them, whoever are helpful and your well wishers, but then analyze and then move forward. Remember, this is your life, not theirs. So they will say, but it is important to adapt and gain the positive things which are there, and just ignore the negative part which is going around. What one person considered to be truth about you is not necessarily the truth about you. If you give too much power to their opinion, it could douse your passion and confidence. It happens. I mean, someone is saying something about and it's going around, and you feel, oh, it will affect you. You should stop getting affected by those things. It's not truth about you. Then just ignore it, undermining your ability to ultimately succeed. So they are just, they're not helping you to succeed. So ignore it, believe in yourself, start afresh, and just ignore the negativity which is around you. Try a new point of view. So innovation, improvisation, it's very important in today's world. There are so many products which will be of similar lines. There are so many ideas. There are so many things which will be of similar lines. But improvise, get the best user experience, get the new technology, technical stacks behind it, and improvise on it and make it simple. Bring something new in it. I mean, not every idea is unique. There would be so many things which are which are actually identical, but then there is something unique about it. There is something new about it. Sorry, excuse me. There is something new about it. There is something unique about it. So you have to bring that new point into it. If I feel, I mean, I'm a stupid, weak, incapable, am I destined to fall short? No. If I feel, I'm one step closer to succeed. If I fail, I repeat that again. If I fail, I'm one step more closer towards succeeding. I'm smarter, more savvy because of the knowledge I've gained through this experience. The experience which you get from your failure is the best, and trust me, it's the best part which you take it up. That will always be, I mean, nothing can replace the experience. Nothing can replace the experience which you have. And that will always help you in succeeding in the next part. So whatever you, whatever experience you get from your failures and everything, that will be always helpful in succeeding ahead from the next part. So as I was saying, we have to accept that we won't always be make the right decision. That will screw up royally sometime. Understand that failure is not opposite of success. It is a part of success. I mean, there would be hardly any ideas or any product or any company which has just been successful and they have not seen failure. No. So it is important to understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Be anything. So when I started my journey, for me there were many hurdles starting into the clientele to bring new clientele. We took some new projects which we were not too used to it. We adapted it, we learned it, and then we delivered it. So it was important. We failed at some, but then we again realized what our failure was, what our mistakes was, and then we did something good also. So I have also been a part of startups where I've been as a tech support, and then they have grown their team internally, technical team internally, where I've helped them build their engine, and I've been helping by them internally to grow. So it is important to understand that you will come across failure in your path which you're going through. So you have to feel, you have to understand it, you have to grab the opportunities, you have to gain that experience that what you had wrong, and then take it ahead into the part. So more importantly, what I was trying to explain you here was you would, I mean, it's not so easy that you would not, I mean, if you feel that, and if you say someone says that, oh, I have this thing and I have been very successful and I've gone through this. This is a new heights which I have achieved and everything. Pick anyone and ask them, have they not tasted a failure? They would have. They would have, and they would have learned and gained that experience to convert it into a success story. So many success stories which you pick it up. You see what they have done. You, they will always share their experience in the failure. They will tell you where they have failed. They will tell you what was wrong, and they would have failed and then pick it up from there, analyzed it, corrected it, restarted it, and then gone up. So another important point which I want to cover in my today's session is many of you would have an entrepreneur idea or an idea which is there in your mind which might convert you into an entrepreneur, or any idea which you would like to uh, would like to give it a, a thought, or would like to even explore that opportunity. And I feel that you should, whatever idea comes in your mind, you should try to explore that opportunity. You should, you should give it a try. So most important part of it is, I mean, the things which I was explaining earlier, which I was trying to tell you, that if you have an idea, analyze that idea, do a market survey of it, understand understand the need of it, understand the target audience of it, and most importantly, do a deep dive into the problem which you are trying to solve. It is more important to pick that problem which you are trying to solve, and whether the solution which you are providing to them is the best part of it. So we have gone through so many algorithms, we have learned so many things. You have to understand what the best part is to reach that, and is the solution which you're trying to bring in is the best part to solve that problem. Will it make someone's life easy? If yes, then if the answers to all these questions are yes, then you should give it a thought. You should analyze it. This yes, this is something which will help people, which will make their life more easier, which will solve a real world problem, and most importantly, it will not only solve the problem, but the way in which the problem is being approached, the way in which you are trying to solve the problem, it has to be more user friendly way. I mean, your your uh, your product or your solution might be very good, but the user experience given to it, it might be solving the problem in the best possible way, right? But the second important aspect of this is the user experience. So you solve the problem, you are solving the best, you're taking the best part to solve the problem. But if the user experience is not good enough, then you might still struggle. I mean, your product might still work, your solution might still work, but then you might still struggle because the user experience which you are trying to build in is not the best part. It's not very user experience, the user feel, the flow is not very nice, then you might still struggle into it. So it is important to analyze it. It is important to make a note and to make it on a drawing board that, oh, this is what I'm thinking of, this is what it should be, this is what it is, and this approach is helping them. It's not burdening their task. It's just helping them. It's their daily routine which I'm bringing into the solution. It's not disturbing a lot of their daily routine, and it's helping to bring it a solution, right? So it is important to uh, understand that these two aspects may play a major role when you're trying to test any idea or any product which you are trying to bring it into this uh, into you, which you're trying to bring it and trying to solve a problem. So it is important to understand that, oh yes, this is what I'm trying to solve. This is my approach. So basically, analyze it. Go into the drawing board, analyze it, and then do a MVP, then do what you call, you do a test run on a set of people, so you understand, and then you again just take that experience back. It's a loop. It has to be a loop for a new product or a startup or whatever you're doing. So for my example, into my service industries also, I when I was freelancing in college in 2008 and 9, I knew I always took some. I have worked so into various verticals. That is one of my target. I was picking up projects from different verticals to understand those verticals. So it was something which I wanted. I had in my back of the mind to understand different verticals, and then try to solve something. And then this experience would always help me in the later part of my journey where I have that experience of solving into the problem into. So for us, it is very important when we go to a client, he will always ask us our past experience. Most of the time, he asks us our past experience. Have we worked with this in this vertical earlier? Have we uh, have we solved or help anyone solve such kind of problems? So that's very important that they ask. So I was picking up those verticals, different verticals, building upon it, building something, and then which was again that experience was used by me when I started my own company to to know where I had failed, what mistakes I was doing there. I was I was I had my experience there. I had my problems there. I knew it that when I'm building a tech arc or when I'm building a solution for them, I have to cater these problems and then bring that solution to the client so that it doesn't go through the same cycle. It is important that when you understand that this is the problem that your client is facing and everything, and you don't go through that same loop again, so that you don't go through that same loop again, so that it doesn't uh, affect uh, affect your solution which you're building. So or else what will happen is that this is a problem which was there. Uh, I forgot it. I have not encountered for it, and when I launch it, I know, oh, I have not encountered for it, and I knew this was the problem. So it is important to solve that and put it into your solution which you are building upon, and then launch it up. So that will help you a lot in bringing us the product or the solution in first go. There will be many iterations, there will be multiple iterations, definitely. and each iteration you have to improvise, you have to improve, so that so that each iteration you improve, and then you basically make a very successful product. I would be more happier, to take up questions also post these sessions, to just pass my information, uh, and to just share my experience, and in my capability help any of the startup or the ideas to understand, and then maybe help you guys to choose the right path, or guide you guys at least, so that you can choose what is there. I'll be happier to solve it. I have an interactive session with anyone who would like to pick up their problem statements and help them, and provide them support from whatever best capabilities I can. So I'll pass it on to Faizan from here on.
I cannot express to you, Mr. Mayank, how insightful the presentation was. The way you explained might have inspired many of our students to think more in the entrepreneurship vertical. So it's our pleasure to have you as a part of VReach. Our viewers have a few queries that they would want you to address. So let's begin the Q&A session.
Yeah, sure.
So first up, we have Sparsh Prabhakar. He's asking that he has a business idea but no financial support. So are there any organization out there to support, like NGO or some government schemes?
Yes, if you have a business idea, it is same. And there are not NGOs, but yes, there are government schemes. There are organization. Government is running a very good scheme to their MSMEs portals, and there are private investors as well who are uh, who are willing to invest, listen into your ideas, willing to invest them. And there are many forums and portals through which you can put up your ideas and present it to the investors, and then you can take it forward from there, and MSME portals as well. And if you have any queries, you can approach me. I can help you and registering there, and get you connected to the guys.
So as you said, there are not NGOs, but some government schemes like they support it, right?
Yes, yes. And
Fine.
if you have any ideas, and you should always register yourself on the MSME portals, your companies and everything, and that will be very helpful, Rao, in terms of be any product or something you're trying to launch, be a physical product or an IT product or anything. They provide you very good opportunities. They provide you loans and everything, and funds in a very reasonable and good rates also. So that's one of the opportunities which you can explore.
Thanks for the tip. Next up, we have Pankaj Dwivedi. He's asking to all young entrepreneurs at what stage they should realize that the business is going into loss and they must stop because there is a greed that they'll do well next year and recover from it, but it goes into loss and loss. So at what stage they should realize?
This is a very good question. As an entrepreneur, it's your idea, you love it, and you're very closely attached to it. It would be very tough for you to make it realize this is failing. You will never be able to tell it that it is failing and everything. It's very tough, but you have to keep that emotional attachment separately. You have to see your past results which are coming in. Analyze your business every quarterly, depending upon the type of business, but I would still keep that window of every quarterly. Analyze your business, where it is going. Is it helping you financially? Is it going in the right direction? And always have a roadmap that this is 6 months down the line. Sorry, 6 months down the line, I have this in my hand. 6 months, or what is there coming up, and then take that decision. But a quarterly review of your business is very important. And when you see that from the last 2 to 3 quarters, you're not going up, you're not having a good graph which is going up. If it is stagnant, it is fine. But if it is going down from the last 2-3 quarters, depending upon the risk which you have taken, I think it is a time to take some hard decisions on it.
So as you said, a person should keep a right track of his performance. So like to take decisions in this case, right?
You have to analyze your business quarterly. It is very important to have a quarterly review. However busy you might be, I mean, you might have a lot of works or everything, but it's very important to have that quarterly review of your business. It is very important to understand the work in hand which you have. So you have what working hand you have, what opportunities lie ahead. You might have a very good season in next 3 months, so plan accordingly. So that's the reason I'm saying at least 2 to 3 quarters you have to analyze. Your quarter might be good, you're doing good. Year end, somewhere business is not going good. So you know this quarter is always slow. So plan for the next quarter so that you can always match the quarter results. It doesn't affect. So it's important to have that review in your business so that you don't end up in the end you realize, oh, I'm struggling here. But I, if would have done that review, I would have changed my strategy also for the next month.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. Next up, Nagesh Nayak is asking, how can I do a feasibility study of how well my idea or startup to be accepted?
Feasibility study depends upon your idea to idea, the vertical which you choose. Sometime it might be an MVP where you launch something like an app, a small app you can quickly build or a website. But more importantly, you can do it through your surveys. I mean, important to understand who the customer is, who is going to use your end product, and have a survey done for those to understand their difficulties, their problem, and then the solution which you are providing, it should be making their life easier in all terms. Then it would be helpful. So survey of your idea to the end customer is very important. I mean, there are so many means of surveys now. Nowadays there are so many means. You can do it through agencies, you can do it through uh, Google Forms, everything. So there are so many ways of it, but it's important to understand the target audience which you are targeting and then reaching to the correct audience where you are.
Thank you, Mr. Matt. So I wanted to ask you this thing. You mentioned twice or thrice during the presentation the term MVP, which stands for, it seems, minimum viable product. Can you explain more about that term?
Yes. So we always in our you are an IT student, IT background, right? And now it's an app world. Everything people want is an app, or every business owner or something who feels that an app can solve my problem. Oh, this can do it. So an MVP is built. It's just it's your core idea, but in a quicker way you build it to test the market, to launch to the market to a certain set of people, run your product on them, understand the result, do an analysis of it. So MVP is actually a core idea, but in a shorter way. It's a small pack, right? Which you actually provided. It's quickly built to test it and then launch your bigger idea. And most of them, I mean, most of the products have an MVP launched. uh, an example I give it, as I was giving an example of a restaurant POS system. So I had an MVP built for it, which was running in which was running in 10 different restaurants. So there was one restaurant who had different chains, five of them, and then different vertical I had given. I've given them for a fee. I wanted them to run it and understand what the problem they are facing. And then when I actually launched my product, I solve that problems. I improvise my product. I bring in new features and then launch it. So MVP is a shorter version of your product, which you put it into the market to test it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mai. Next up, Prithvi, I mean, she's asking, as a student and being in college, how do I mold myself to get ready to be an entrepreneur?
Uh, Prithvi, here you have to choose what you want to do actually in terms of entrepreneur, which line you want to go or which profession you would like to choose it. And being into college, this is the right time in you can build it. So if, for example, if you're trying to build it, being a go into more of an IT field or something, You can learn a lot of things from courses. You can take up individual projects. You can actually test your knowledge and your capabilities by building those projects and putting it into the market. So you have to start it from early days, because I started my thing when I was in second year of engineering, uh, where we had, it was an old syllabus. We had Java, I think, and that's the time when he had started. And Amit sir had just joined in, so I still remember he guided me a lot. So build on it. I mean, from the college time, yes, you can you can build something, you can analyze something, and then you can always test yourself that yeah, I'm good at this and I'm doing this good, and then you can start your entrepreneurship. More important, choose the vertically which you want to go.
Basically, it depends on the vertical.
Yes.
Okay, so
Learn. At this stage, you can learn a lot. So it is important to learn.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Brink. Next up, Hemkesh Raina is asking if a person is doing a 9 to 5 job at an IT company, he wants to start a startup. How will he manage the pace of change so that he doesn't get broke in doing so?
This is a good question, which in case I had also done it when I was in Accenture. I was still doing that stuff when I was. It's officially you can't, but you were still doing it. Uh, 9 to 5 job. So that's what I was saying. Now time. This was the right time to learn more things. You were working from home. In Mumbai, travel is the biggest thing. You have I mean, you guys would be traveling from where to reach college. We had in our time, we had from people from Ulhasnagar, people from Kalyan, really people from Borivali coming to Vivekanand Chembur. So it is, you cut the travel time right now. So this is the right time when you learn a lot of things, and you can start your IT thing which you're thinking post five. There are so many sites where you can take up some assignments and start the learning. So you have Udemy as one of the best course teaching materials which teach you new technologies, or for that instance, you learn some new technologies and you pick it up from there. So you build it post five, you start on it. Regarding the pace, uh, yes, it would be a hard shift right now because you would have to work what, maybe 16, 17 hours. But trust me, it is worth giving a try. You learn a lot, and that will help you in future of your life.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Max. So next up, I wanted to ask, like, how important, according to you, were those 3 years in Accenture for your entrepreneurship venture?
For me, it was very, very important. I'll be a bit technical in this. It was very important. I mean, I did everything in those 3 years. I joined as a tester. I learned Java programming, Hibernate swings, everything there in deep. So the system which I was dealing with was very complex system, which is and not an Indian system. It was very complex system. So I had done the role of tester. I had done the role of developer also. So I always had that inclination towards development. Being a freelancer when I was in college, I used to do that. So I always want to be a developer, but I was not happy with testing. My team in Accenture helped me a lot. I did that entire journey from tester to developer, and in later later stage of the project, when it was just a small thing, it it was very important that they give me an exposure of doing business gathering and everything as well. So uh, 3 years were very, very important, right? From testing, development, I did the requirement gathering for one phase also, and which helped me a lot. When I say as an IT company, it is very important to analyze the problem, do the requirement gathering correctly. If that too fails, nothing will work because you have not gathered the information correctly. Neither you will be able to provide a better solution or a right solution to them. So uh, that 3 years were very, very important for me.
So you learned quite a lot during those 3 years. So
Yes, yes, I've learned a lot in those 3 years, technically also, functionally also, and as a professional also, to how to how to how to speak to, right, how to communicate through emails. I mean, as a college pass out, Our communication emails are not that great. We agree to it, right? We what our communications would be an assignment submission or generally nothing. But then deadlines, email communications, personality development. You would have to speak up in team meeting. You would be held up for things which you have done wrong. You would be appreciated for the things which you have done good. So that entire corporate life teach me a lot. I mean, how you have to deal with everything right from your co-workers, subordinates to your immediate manager to your higher manager who is playing just a global role. I mean, you would just take a overview of it to your manager or to your reportee whom you are reporting your daily task. So that has taught me a lot, especially communication skills, technical skills. Yes, definitely being a tech person, but communication skills, the way you behave, the way you communicate, everything was has grown me from Accenture. I've learned a lot from Accenture.
So, like, as you know, the technique along with technical skills, also the soft skills play a very
Soft skills.
important role in the
Yes,
professional world.
yes.
So, thank you, Mr.
Soft
Mayank.
skills do play a very important role.
Next, the concluding question for the Q&A session. What are your opinions about Atmanirbhar Bharat?
Uh, it's a great initiative. I mean, uh, very nice initiative in terms of self being on self. It is a very nice initiative, and this will help generate business inside India a lot, which was been out actually outsourced or something. But if we develop our skills, if we do it on ourselves, and we do it internally and everything, this will generate a lot of business internally for India. Trust me. COVID post COVID situation, I feel that business should grow. Yes, there would be struggle initially, but post that business should grow, and it should grow within India. The way of doing businesses and everything will change. Definitely will change the way you do business right now. For example, you would have never thought that a clothing or a fashion guy would do a video call or something and provide you everything and do it right. But right now in COVID situation, that is something which they are doing. That is something which they have adapted fastly. That they have realized that yes, this is the way forward, because for people to travel, uh, coming to physically coming to the stores is not that possible, and b it increases the reach. I can do it across. For food industry also, this is the time they would have to change way approach their approach. They have to change it. I mean, the way they were doing, and that's the why the food deliveries and everything would be working again, and e-commerce portal would be working a lot right now. So again, coming back to the Atmanirbhar question, yes, this is a very good initiative. If we take it in the right sense, and if we build those skills, uh, business would be given to the Indians and locally a lot, and this should be a positive note for us. That's one of the positive which I take it from.
As you said, if utilized properly, it can be quite
Yes,
advantageous.
if utilized properly and in the right sense, and most importantly, it has to be utilized quickly and timely. Because if you slow things down, it takes a lot of time to pick it up. So you have to utilize it, you have to adapt it quickly, you have to learn it, and you have to go for it. I mean, if you take a lot of time, then this is a slow time where everyone is facing challenges, from business, from personal health wise, from everything, mentally as well, everything. So this is the time you should not slow it down, you should understand and you should quickly adapt it. Then it would be very helpful for you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayank. So, with that, we conclude our Q&A session. Once again, thank you, Mr. Mayank, for addressing all those questions and providing some very interesting and informative tips.
Thank you to the entire team, Faizan and everyone. It has been a good experience coming online and sharing my views on it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with us.
Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of the webinar. I would like to thank all the participants who attended this very detailed session and made it successful with your presence. I would request all the participants to kindly fill the feedback form provided in the description. Your feedback will not only encourage but also motivate our team. You could receive the e-certificate for this session only after filling the feedback form. For past sessions, if you missed us, and also for upcoming event details, you could visit Visit's YouTube channel, and also the details can be found on Visit's VReach's website. With this, I, Faizan Qureshi, would like to conclude this session and hereby take your leave. Have a great evening ahead.